Yeah, so you're doing this business and it doesn't work on the first day, right? You have worked your entire day, you have gone into it and it's amazing, right? That happens to a lot of people, right? It's amazing, they love it, but they just don't have results the first day. Well, that's with most business models. Now, the problem is if you're 3 to 6 months into working in a single business model and you're giving it your all, like genuinely giving it your all, and you're not getting results, well, there's two things that you have to check. The first thing you have to check is actually your work ethic. You need to understand that most people in this planet are not going to give their all to their goals. So if you're actually giving your all to your goals, you're most probably going to have success. That's just how it is. And then the second thing you have to check is actually the business model itself, because most people usually are getting into business models that they are very attractive, like drop shipping, any of this, they're very, very attractive. But the problem is that they are not really the way that most people are making money. And if you can see it, usually it's business models that are very easy to copy, right? If you have, for example, an Amazon store, or if you have, I don't know, any other kind of store or business model of this type, it's very easy to copy and it's very easy to overthrow you. And it's also full of very, 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 very big sharks that if you get to making a lot of money, they can just, literally ban your store and that's it, and then they can just copy everything and just run the same ads and go into it. It's obviously not as A to B as I have shown you, but it is kind of very similar to what happens in real life. So I wouldn't advise anybody to get into physical products or any business that is very easy to copy. We usually focus, for example, with my clients, both people who start from complete scratch to also people who already have an existing business, with coaches and agencies, because both businesses, they have some peculiarity, and it's very hard to copy them. You have a coach that is teaching something about something they have expertise on, or maybe they're not really expert on it, but they can teach something about it, which is like 99% of the people can be coaches, and it's the best business model out there because it's just 100% profit margin, and it's on very, very high demand, right? Online education. And so their personality is usually attached to it. And if they are not showing their face, like I did, for example, when I started, they can pretty much have a brand that is going to be very, very powerful. We have all the frameworks to do that, so don't worry if you don't know about that. We can teach you how to do it. And so that people understand that that's a brand that is very unique and that sells something specific. So even if somebody came to sell literally the same product, not only they cannot do it because you cannot sell the same information as other person, it's just not even legal, but also the point itself is that people are buying from that brand or that person because they're trusting that brand or person, right? They're not buying that product only because they need that. There's also so many other components regarding the trustworthiness of the information and trustworthiness of the service that goes around that person or specific brand that is selling that. And that is extremely important. And that happens also with agencies, because as I explained in another video, you might know what the difference between agencies and coaching, the coaching business is. But it happens the same with agencies. It is not about the product itself, which it is too, by far, for sure, extremely important. But it's not just not easy, it's just impossible to copy the business model. You can more or less have the same things, but it's just not going to be the same, and that is just what's going to happen. It is literally not the same exact thing. People are trusting their brand, people are trusting that person, and that's the exact reason why it has a lot of success, okay? So make sure that you're going to coach it in businesses or agencies, because that's just what works the best, that is the best business model to go into, and also that happens to be something that anybody can do. In a coaching business, pretty much, you're teaching something that you know to another person, you're getting money for it, that's it. You're helping that other person. And then when you have an agency, it's pretty much you're delivering a service to that person that they need. And you don't even have to do the service itself, because you can just delegate it to a third party and just get a commission in between, and that's it. We have a lot of agency businesses as clients that, for example, my client Kavir, he makes around 70% profit margin. I think 65-70%, depends a bit on the ad spend that he does. And he's making like 300K a month, and then it's an agency. So he doesn't do the service itself. He has everything delegated. It's around 15-20% profit margin, cut from the full 100% that he sells. 15-20%, it's ad spend, and then the rest is just delivering the service. That's it. So it's very simple, right? People who have coaching programs, it's even better because they almost don't have any delivery costs. Now, when they do scale to making multiple 6 figures a month, they do have to get a bit of staff, a bit of people in it. But until then, there's not really any cost, since you are the service provider, and with a bit of help of delegation and certain things, which is extremely cheap, and it's usually in a form of video. you're pretty much paying like less than 4 figures a month, and you can make multiple 6 figures a month. Like it's very very crazy. It's actually completely crazy. So yeah, those are the two business better ways to do it. That's what I would think are just the two better ways right now. There's just nothing else. I mean, unless you're going into something specific, you have done construction at university, and you have a multiple eight-figure business, right? Like I met a guy from Australia one time in Dubai. Yeah, I mean, if you're going into those very, very specific things, or dealing with gold, or dealing with oil, I mean, there's obviously things which are just much bigger. I mean, but that's also extremely hard to get on, and we're not talking about little money. Like you do need a lot of money to get into that, and those are very very big industries, right? So if you're going into those, of course, I mean, you can just go into that. That's not something I am an expert on, but what I do am an expert on is on online businesses, especially using social media. So if you are interested in that, just make sure to subscribe, follow me on social media, and if you want to work with us, you can also apply to work with us on my Instagram DMs. Okay, so yeah, you can just go to my Instagram account and just send me a word YouTube, for example, and then I will be able to get back to you. Okay, so those are the two main things, man. Work ethic and also the business model themselves. I have told you which is the better option for us. Now we have different programs based on your situation. If you're interested, again, just hit me up on Instagram, and then we can check out if we can go into a one-on-one discovery call with you, just to make sure that we understand your situation and we really get to know you. And then once we really see that we can really help you out, then we will show you different offers that we have, and then based on the different options that, and the different options and different things that we have appeared in the call, right? Everybody has a different situation, so we want to get to know you first and see if it makes sense to help you out, okay? And then there will be a third thing that I would say honestly, which is the rate at which you let other people influence your journey, right? So this is something that I had just thought about, but it's obviously very very real. Which is a lot of people get into a certain journey, right? But then they let constantly people just get in the middle, right? They get the parents in, they let friends in, right? They inform everybody of what they're doing. And then the problem with that is that most people don't want you to have success, especially from the middle class. I mean, the middle class itself is it's just a culture literally created to keep itself down. That's just what the middle class is, right? So especially from these classes, unless it's like some billionaire friends you have or millionaire friends you have, which if you live in certain parts of the world you could have, most of them are not going to really want you to have success. Now they will probably say they do, they actually don't. Okay, so the best thing to do honestly is just to keep it private, man. I mean, your business doesn't have to be something that your friends know, your parents know. I mean, especially in the beginning. Later on, when you're living in another city and you don't really fucking care, let's be honest. But especially in the beginning, man, you just keep it to yourself. I was going to high school, I was making very good money, and nobody knew anything. No teacher knew anything, no friends knew anything, nobody knew absolutely anything. It was just me with my business, and that's it. My siblings didn't know it. The only person who knew it was my mother, and that's it. So you don't really have to keep talking to everybody about the business that you have and letting anybody have an opinion on it and put their energy into it. Which, first of all, if it affects you, it's also your own consideration and what you're, let's say, letting them do, right? Which is having an effect on your business. But also, I mean, why even tell it if they're not a customer? If you're not gonna buy, then I mean, why are you even telling that, right? So you don't really need to tell anybody anything, and you can just keep your business for yourself and just keep working, keep having success, and just have your own business, man. Be successful and just live life. So just do that. I have done it. I've been extremely successful doing it. All my clients, especially underage clients that we have had, people who were like 16, 17-year-olds, or maybe they were 20, they were in college living with their parents. They have all done that, right? People who started, especially a lot of men have started having a wife, right? They didn't tell their wife anything, right? Because their wife maybe was very, very annoying with finances and with spending money and all that. I've had a few clients that have had that situation, right? So they just preferred not to say anything. And then when they were making money, they were reinvesting that money they were making, which all our clients do. And then they showed the wife, and then the wife was happy, right? So it's not needed for you to let other people go into your business or even have any opinion whatsoever on what you do with your life, honestly. Like, not even with your life, okay? So just make sure that you stay true to your goals, just stick to them, just make sure that you're working hard for them, that you have the correct business model, okay? If you don't know what's the best business model, hit me up on Instagram. I will be able to show you for free what it is, and how does it work, and how you could get started if we can help you out. And then make sure that you are focused and not putting your attention about to anybody. Like, you know, just not putting your attention to anybody on this planet other than you, your business, achieving your goals, making yourself and the people who actually love you and you love happy, and just that's it. Just have fun, man. Just have fun, and hopefully we'll meet that one day, and then hopefully you will tell me how amazing this video was for you. Okay, so guys, make sure to subscribe to my channel, make sure to follow me on social media, hit me up on social media at any time if you need anything. Drop me in the comments anything you would like me to cover or anything you're struggling with, so I can make a video with a solution to it, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.